One harsh email, one comment under your post, one car cutting you off. In half a second, your jaw tightens, your chest goes hot. Words are leaving your mouth before you form a conscious thought. Then, replaying the moment hours later, you realize your reaction didn't look anything like the person you actually want to be. Highly disciplined people feel this exact same heat. They aren't unshakable because they experience less anger or fear. They feel everything. The difference lies in a tiny, almost invisible space between a trigger and a response. While most people sprint across that space on instinct, the strongest people you know have learned to stand inside it. 2,000 years ago, Marcus Aurelius ran the most powerful empire on earth. He buried his children, faced betrayal from his inner circle, and fought grueling wars on the frozen frontier. In his private journal, he wrote that if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. The pain arrives only after you make a judgment about the event. The Stoics called the human faculty of choice prohairesis. It is the part of you that sits in the gap and decides whether to give your agreement to an impulse or to hold it at arm's length. Mastering this choice is the only way to maintain control when the weather, the traffic, or your boss seems determined to take it from you. This ancient philosophy is now the foundation of modern cognitive therapy. Researchers like Aaron Beck confirmed that it is our judgment of an event, rather than the event itself, that creates our emotions. When a trigger hits you, an almond-shaped structure called the amygdala fires first. It is fast, ancient, and its only job is to keep you alive. That heat in your chest is the amygdala seizing the controls before you can form a single conscious thought. Right behind your forehead sits the prefrontal cortex. This is the slow, deliberate part of you that evaluates consequences and remembers who you want to be. Our biggest mistakes are usually a matter of timing. The primal brain acts instantly, while the wiser brain takes time to arrive. By the time it shows up, the damage is often done. A Stanford psychologist named James Gross spent his career studying the two primary ways we handle these high-stakes feelings. Most people fall back on suppression. They let the emotion fully form, then sit on it, gritting their teeth and hiding every outward sign. This chart reveals the physiological cost of that approach. Suppression hides the emotion, but it spikes your internal stress response, impairs your memory, and even raises the physical stress of the people sitting across from you. Reappraisal involves stepping into the gap early to change how you interpret the situation. When you reappraise, your actual experience of the emotion drops along with your outward expression. You win the gap by redirecting your attention before the hot system of the primal brain locks onto the trigger. Swallowing your rage creates a delayed explosion. It carries a heavy internal tax and eventually damages the very relationships you are trying to protect. Picture David, an ambitious professional who just received a blunt email from his manager. This needs to be redone. No context, no thanks for his effort. His face flushes. His fingers are already hovering over the keys to fire back something sharp that will feel powerful for 4 seconds and will cost him for 4 months. But David has trained the pause. He stands up, gets water, and takes 3 slow breaths to give his prefrontal cortex 30 seconds to arrive. He uses that time to reappraise. Instead of trying to win a fight, he asks what response the professional he is becoming would choose. He replies with a calm, clarifying question. Same trigger, same feelings, but a completely different life, decided entirely by the width of a single gap. This isn't a personality trait you are born with. With practice, you can build a stronger functional connection between your prefrontal cortex and your amygdala, creating measurable physical changes in your brain. You train this in low-stakes moments. Stop the urge to instantly check a buzzing phone. Let the silence sit before you interrupt a colleague mid-sentence. Simply pausing to silently label an emotion as it rises, fear or anger or craving, begins to quiet the alarm and engage the wiser brain. This allows you to ask the central question: is this the response of the man I am trying to become, or the reaction of the boy I'm trying to leave behind? Discipline is the expansion of that pause. Mastering that microscopic space allows you to decide exactly which version of yourself shows up to the world.